Good morning. I'm very happy to be here with you. Here's what we're doing today. I'm going to come close to you so I can talk just to you. My name is Mr. Angel. I'm coming to you live from the History Colorado Museum. I want to welcome you to History at Home, History Take Home. Our motto is, if you can't come to us, we will come to you. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be showing you about today. What we love is some of the history of the wonderful state that we live in, Colorado. And every time we have one of these sessions, what we're going to be talking about is some very particular aspect that made our state so wonderful. And part of the teaching of history, of course, is to learn how to do something. So first, I'm going to give you a little bit of overview about what I'm talking about today. And then I'm going to teach you how to do something at home that's going to make you feel special and know a little bit more about Colorado. Now, we come back here.
And Mr. Angel, this is April here. I just want to let everybody know that we're recording today so that you can watch this again later.
So the idea of recording is it's going to be available to you. So check back on the website of History Colorado here, and you'll be able to find this recording and others that we're doing later in the week so you can refresh them and to tell all your friends about it too. One thing I would like you to do, however, is I would love for you to hit that mute button, turn off your own sound, so that the only sound you're hearing is what I'm trying to teach you about today. So what we have going back here in our backdrop is the wonderful Acequia Creek coming down from the Sangre de Cristo Mountains in the San Luis Valley. Now I'm dressed a certain special way today, and the reason is the character that I am and that I'm going to be talking about today is the cowboy, the first cowboy that was in Colorado history, El Vaquero, the Spanish colonial cowboy. Now, if you wanted to do the work of the cowboy, first you had to know what you're doing. You're working with large animals, basically cattle and horses. Sometimes you're working with sheep or smaller animals, but mainly cattle and horses. The other idea is, in addition to knowing what you're doing, you had to have some things. And the things you have to use are the tools that you use to do this work. Your two main tools, one is the horse. Now we're inside the museum today, so I couldn't bring the horse inside. Left it parked outside. So you have to have the horse, but the other tool you need is the rope. And the rope is a skill that you have to have, and that's a skill I'm going to teach you today. Now I want to show you some of the other things that you might need to do the work that I need to do here. One of them is this right here. You got to have your spurs. Now this is a Mexican colonial spur. This spur maybe 150 years old. It's got silver inlay on the side. This big part here is called the rowel. And listen how it sounds. And then it has these little dingle bobs hanging down. I call them like the fish weights, but they make the sound. And you go like this, right? One of the legends about making the sound is, you see how it curves down like this? You have it on your boot and you're walking along the ground like this, it makes the sound. And you got to remember, out on the wild, scorpions, tarantulas, spiders, rattlesnakes, but they don't want to mess with you. So this gives them a warning that you're walking around, and then they get away, and then everyone ends up happy. So you got to have your horse, you got to have your rope, you got to have your spurs. Some other things you might need for your work. You might need a special tool like this. Now, this is a branding iron, of course, and I want to show you about the branding iron here is how you actually read a brand. Now, a brand is a symbol. It's also a nickname of the ranch or the farm. And then you brand your horse or you brand your cattle. And then what happens is you always read a brand from the outside in. So here's what you got. See the outside shape? It's like a diamond, right? And then see the letter on the inside? Well, of course, that's the letter D. So the name of the brand or the nickname of the ranch or the farm would be the Diamond D. So whenever you're looking at a brand, I always try to figure out what are the symbols, what are the shapes that are going to give the nickname to the ranch or farm. Here's an example. Read it from the outside, the Diamond D. I want to show you another tool. Because you've probably never seen something like this. The biggest scissors you'll ever see in the whole world. Because sometimes I'm working with cattle, sometimes I'm working with horses, sometimes I'm working with sheep. And then you got to cut the wool off of the sheep. Well, this is what you have. You got to have these before the days nowadays, like where you use electric shears. Well, here is what you would use, these giant manual. I hate using these because my hands would always get cramped up. But these are giant shears before electricity out on the farm. Nowadays they have battery powered ones. But look, the most giant scissors you'd ever need. So these sheep shears are what you would use to cut the wool off of the sheep. Now I need to show you about the whip. Now on my horse, in the front on the saddle, I always have my rope on the front. And in the back, I tell people it's kind of like in the trunk of the car because I don't need it a lot. But I want to have it there. I have my whip. You never hit the animal with a whip. The reason is it hurts. The reason you have a whip is to get the attention of the herd of the cattle, because I have to move them from one place to another, and I need to make them pay attention that now it's time to get moving. So a sharp crack of the whip gives the animals, it's time to get to work. We're moving from one place to another. So you got to have your whip with you too. Now I've mentioned several times what the subject of today is the rope. Now, there's a lot of names for rope. There's a lot of types of rope. I'm going to show you some of them before I teach you how to do the Texas lasso loop. Now, back in the day, you couldn't go to the tack store to buy any rope. You had to make it yourself. So one of the best elements to use is horsehair. They have the long mane, they have the tail. It kind of feels like plastic if you were to feel it up close. And if you feel the edge of it, it's a little bit oily feeling. The reason is horses never take a bath or a shower. So their hair always has a little bit of an oily feel to it. Then it's very prickly. One of the things I like about horsehair rope, it's always pretty. Horsehair is like human hair, comes in a lot of different shades. So you can kind of tell that this one's kind of black, gray, beige a little bit, whitish. So I've seen them in red, in orange, in blonde color. I love horsehair rope because how pretty the colors always are. But horsehair rope's not a good rope because it's an organic material. Over time it'll stretch and it will break. The other rope, of course, this rope is like my spurs. This rope's got to be over 100 years old. This is a leather rope. Now, you know when you make a braid and you get the 3 strands and you make like a nice braid out of it? Well, this one has 4 strands, if you can look at it here. 4 different strands, and then they braid it really, really tightly. This rope's about 80 feet long. It's very, very long. This is my favorite rope. The problem with this rope is if it dries out and gets brittle, it will crack, so you always got to put some oil in it or something, keep it working real nice. Now, the modern rope, you don't even have to worry about. Just go to the store and buy it, tell them how much you want. The edge of it is going to make it feel what that feels like, even tickles your nose, kind of feels like it's cotton or something, but it's not. It's actually plastic. If you were to burn it, you'd smell that acrid, stinky smell of plastic burning. This is actually polynylon. It will last forever. You don't have to be very good with this rope. And I know all the cowboys out there are going to say that's not true. You have to be good with that rope. The secret of roping, you got to get really close to the animal. This rope will hold the loop because it's very stiff until it gets broken in. Get really close to the animal, drop it from on top, boom, you've caught the animal really nicely. Now you notice this loop at the top, it's got a special name, it's called a Honda. And then what you do with that is you got to make that loop in order to make the rope work. So this is the modern rope. So you got 3 types of rope. You start with a horsehair rope, just like this. Then you go to the leather rope, just like this, but no one uses horsehair and no one uses leather in the regular work anymore. Nowadays, what everyone uses is they use the regular modern rope made out of polynylon. Okay, now what I need to do is I need to switch gears a little bit here because now I'm going to teach you how to make your own rope at home. Now, here's what happens. What you want to do is you want to get a rope like this. And then what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to make a loop like this. If you can make a loop like that, it's called the Texas loop. Then what happens is you can drop it down and you can catch something with it. If you get real good at it, you'll learn how to throw it. So what I'm going to teach you today, I'm going to teach you, first you got to take the kinks out of the rope. It always gets kinked up a little bit. I'm going to teach you how to make a rope on your own at home. And I'm going to teach you how to be able to do the Texas loop just like this. So like the vaqueros and cowboys that have been so important to ranch, cowboy, and rodeo culture in our wonderful state, Colorado, you'll learn how to do this at home. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to need some items. You're going to need a pair of scissors. You're going to need a pencil. You're going to need some tape. And then, of course, you're going to need some rope. Now, here's my special secret about rope. If at home you have a kid's jump rope, that'd be very good. If you don't have a kid's jump rope, here's what I want you to do. Do what I did yesterday. I want you to go to Walmart. And here's what we got. This rope comes in all sorts of different colors. It's about as thick as a pencil, right? That's how thick you want your rope. And then what you have here is, do you see how the handle twirls like that? That's the secret. That's why a kid's jump rope is going to make this work. That handle twirling makes this work. Then what you do is, these are really cheap also. These cost 97 cents each, less than $1. So that's why I bought 3 of them. I'm going to use this nice red one here. Here's what you do. So you got this here like this. Then what you need to do is you're not going to use all of it, okay? Now I've marked myself here. You need about 6.5 feet. So I got my measuring tape and I measured out from one handle about 6.5 feet. And then I marked it here. And then what I'm going to do with my scissors is I'm actually going to cut it right where I had marked it at 6.5 feet. Now I got this short little pigtail here. I'm not going to use that. That one I'm going to discard, put in the trash can. Then I have my 6.5 feet here like this. Then what you're going to do is this. About 6 inches from the handle like this is what I want you to do. Take the end. Now notice I'm about, I don't know, 6 to 8 inches from the handle there. I'm going to make the Honda, which is I'm going to make a loop just like that. All right. Then I'm going to get my piece of tape. And I got yellow tape so you can see real clearly what I'm doing. Got a piece of tape like this. And because I've made the loop like this, about 6 inches from the handle, see how that slides through that? Well, I don't want it sliding through there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this Honda right about there. And then with the tape, I'm going to tape it real close to the end, as tight as I can. Just like this. I'm going to wrap the tape around it like this. Right here, just like that. So you can see the tape. Now notice I have the handle about 6 inches from the handle. I've made the Honda like I showed you on the modern rope, real tight like this. So what I've done is, you see that loop on the right there? That's what I've done on this. You see that loop right here? You gotta have the loop on these ropes. So I've made that loop, the Honda right there, and then I've taped it very tightly down, just like that. Now you're ready to go. What happens? Now what you have to do is this. It's going to get kinked up on you a little bit. You don't have to push it real strong, but you want to get the kinks out of it just by doing this. Make it nice like that. Now, the reason I told you to get the pencil, you have to practice something. You have to practice what your fingers are going to do. You get the pencil, just turn the pencil in your hand like this, okay? I tell people it's like you're stirring the pancake batter in the bowl. So you get used to your fingers like that, because that's what your fingers are going to be doing. So to practice, just get a pencil or a pen with your fingers, just turn like that. And that's going to teach you how to do this. Okay. Then you're going to have your handle with this. And then that's what you're doing with the handle, just like that. We've already practiced with your pencil. So are you guys ready to do this? Yeah, let's make this happen. Let's go catch that doggy, that calf running around, okay? Then we got to brand it. Okay, so here's what you do. Don't make your hand go all crazy, arm crazy like this. If you make your arm go crazy like that, you're going to break the loop. What you want to do is your arm wants to be real peaceful like this. And then if you want to get your pencil and practice it, you just like this. It's just like you're stirring something real easily like this. If you're going like that all crazy, it's not going to work. Real nice and easy. Just like this. Okay, then you have your rope. You have your Honda. You have your loop. You've tied it down with a piece of tape, just like that. Then get it going like this. And when it comes up, you're going to see the loop going around just like that. Now, the beauty of the loop is you can catch something like it just caught my arm like this. What I like to do, and you won't be able to see it just because of the way the picture's working here, is put your foot up in the air like this. And then what you can do is, once you get your loop going around like this a little bit, put your foot up, drop it down, see if you can catch your own foot just like that. That will be the beginning of your being able to work with this. Okay, let's have a quick review here. First people working with large animals in the state of Colorado, cattle and horses, was the Vaquero, the Spanish colonial cowboy. Then everyone learned about the cowboy tools, the cowboy lingo, the cowboy practices from the Spanish Vaquero, right here in our state, Colorado. Then you had to collect the tools. First one was the horse. The Spanish brought the horse and the cow to the New World. Then you had to have the branding iron. My ranch is the Diamond D, if you're looking for me. Then you had to have the largest scissors in the world, the sheep shears. They're just too crazy to even look at. It's one of my favorite tools. Had to have the spur, right? Had to have the spur. Had to have your whip, let the animals know it's time to get to work, move from one place to another. And then you had to have either your horsehair rope, your leather rope, or the modern rope right here. Now, I've taught you today how to make your own tool using a children's jump rope, cutting the end, wrapping it together like this, practicing with a pencil, making things turn, and then learning how, this is the fun part. This is the fun part. Making the loop, just like this.
And Mr. Angel, I'm enabling everybody's cameras. If they want to show you what they're doing on their camera, they can start their webcam now and start practicing what you taught them today.
That would be great. That would be wonderful.
So friends, go ahead and turn on your cameras.
So History Colorado, we're very, very happy to bring you these new at-home teaching lessons, teaching you a little bit about the history of the wonderful state that we live in, and also teaching you how to do something while we're all at home doing the best we can with the situation that we're in right now. One day History Colorado is going to be open again. You will come down here. Maybe I'll be your tour guide. Maybe one other great tour guide will be taking you around, and we'll be able to come back to this wonderful museum that we have and continue to learn all about this. I want to remind you, tomorrow, Liz Cook, another great expert here at the History Colorado Museum, will be telling us about the Ute culture, specifically, like today I told you about cowboy culture, about roping. Tomorrow you'll be learning about beadwork with Ute Nation, and she's going to be teaching you how to do some at-home projects, making beadwork just like the wonderful, the longest-lived people in Colorado, the Utes did so long ago. So this is Angel Vigil, live broadcast from History Colorado. Have a wonderful day.